Well, hey there, first grade. I just jumped in from the other video. I'm so fast. Did you catch that? So I hope that you have finished up the beginning of your vowel teams chart. I went ahead and cleaned mine up a little bit so that, it's actually readable and usable. And so now that we have this tool, we don't want to just leave it sitting in our toolbox, right? I mean, you don't just leave your hammers and your saws and your screwdrivers just sitting around if you want to make something. So we're going to use this tool. We're going to use this vowel team linking chart. And I have a poem on this slide that I want to share with you that a former student wrote. And it's called The Rain is Falling. I'm going to read it through to you one time. Then what I want you to do is get out your whiteboard and get out your linking chart that we just made, the vowel team chart. And I mean, she did a wonderful, beautiful job on this poem, but there are a lot of vowel team mistakes and things that we can fix here. And so we're going to do that as a class. So I'm going to read it to you first. The rain is falling. The rain is falling. A stream runs down my street. All the leaves float away like tiny boats. All right. So now what I want you to do is pause it. Well, first, get out your linking chart that you made in the last video. You shouldn't have lost it yet. It couldn't have gone that far. You just did it. Grab onto that. And then pause the video so that you can still see this poem, or teachers just pause it so they can see it on the board. And you can either do this as a whole group, teachers, or they can do it individually because I'll come back and review it with them. But I want you to look through this poem and see where there are some changes that need to be made using the vowel teams that we know. So we're going to pause, and then we're going to come back and run through it together. Okay, so if you're back, let's take a look at this first line in the poem. I hope that you've already made all the changes that you think need to be made, and now we can go through and make some changes together. The first line says, the rain is falling. Okay, the rain is falling. Well, I know vowel teams usually have a long sound, so I think the word that we really need to focus on in this line is the word rain. So let's go back to our vowel teams chart. Is there a vowel team here that we would expect to see in rain? Well, yeah, we actually have that as an example, right? We see the AI vowel team. We know that this doesn't look right for the word rain. So we're going to change it to rain with the AI vowel team. Rain. Beautiful. All right. So let's see if this looks right and sounds right. The rain is falling. That looks right. That's exactly what rain should look like. That's the right vowel team that should be inside. A stream runs down my street. Take a look at that carefully. What do you think needs to be fixed here? There's definitely a word that needs a new vowel team. So I see the word street. Street. And that EE, that looks right to me. I see that word a lot when I'm driving around. I see that word when I'm looking at a map. The words on signs all the time. So that one, I feel pretty confident that that word has the proper, correct vowel team. But take a look at this word, stream. Did you catch that one? What do you think? If we take a look at our alphabet linking chart, or our vowel team linking chart, which vowel team goes in stream? Yeah, we are going to switch it to EA. Stream. All right, that looks right, and that sounds right. A stream runs down my street. All the leaves. There's a word in there that we need to change. Leaves. Well, I hear a long vowel there, so I need to make sure. Does this need a vowel team in it? It looks like it does. The word leaves doesn't look quite right. So let's take another look back at our linking chart. Did you decide what it is? Yeah, it's EA, like in eat. So we're going to change that to leaves. Whoops. We stretch that out just a tad. This flickering mouse is driving me insane. All the leaves float away. Float away. Well, I'm looking at the word away, and I see the vowel team AY at the end of the word. Well, we talked about how when we see the vowel team AY, it usually is at the end of a word, like in play or stay. So that makes sense for away. But what about that word float? Float? Let's take a look back at our linking chart. What do you notice? It's the OA vowel team, right? We're going to change float to have the OA vowel team in the middle. That looks right. That sounds right. All right, last line. Like tiny boats. Well, actually, if you read this word the way it's written, it's bots. We know that's not right. It's boats. And lucky for us, we actually use the word boat on our vowel team linking chart. So we see this OA in the word boat. How easy peasy is that for us to fix? Let's go ahead and do it. Perfection. All right, let's go back and reread and make sure we got them all. The rain is falling. A stream runs down my street. All the leaves float away like tiny, this should say boats. I made a mistake and need to fix it. Boats. That's why you go back and reread, boys and girls. Real life lesson right there. So as we looked through this poem today, we were able to identify places where we really needed to use our word building skills and take those vowel teams and use them to help build our words and make them stronger and to make sure that they look right and they sound right. So as you're reading and writing this week, feel free to, or I guess it would be next week, feel free to pull out that linking chart and use it as often as you need to. We actually next week are going to start working on tricky vowel teams. These are kind of considered the easy vowel teams. We're going to start working on tricky ones next week. So you're going to need that linking chart with you. Make sure you put it somewhere where you're not going to lose it. All right, guys, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Monday.